Hey there, drone fans. Rick here again from Drone Valley. Well, today is another really special day for me because I finally got my hands on the brand new DJI Mini SE. And it's a bit of an odd drone because for whatever reason, DJI decided that they weren't going to sell the Mini SE in the US yet. Now, I paused there for dramatic effect because I have a theory on that, and I'll get to it in a minute. But anyway, I really wanted to test this drone because even if it's not available in the US, it's an interesting drone because it kind of fits somewhere in the middle between the original Mavic Mini and the Mini 2. And I love reviewing technology, and I know a lot of people were asking about it, so I reached out to a couple of my friends in China, and I said, look, I know those Mini SEs are available there in China. Can you walk into a retail store, buy it, put it in a box, and ship it to me? Before you do that, though, open it up, power it up, and activate it because I'm not sure I can fly it in the States. So anyway, it took me a couple of weeks to get all that stuff organized, and lo and behold, this morning my doorbell rang and it's on my front porch. Now, I haven't opened the box yet. I'm going to do an unboxing with you just to show you what it looks like. I understand that they offer it in two versions like they do with most of their drones. The basic package, which is what I have here, and they have a Fly More combination, which includes a really nice bag, a bunch of extra batteries, the charging hub, pretty much everything you'd get with the Mini 2 and the Fly More combination. But this is just the basic drone because believe me, I've got enough batteries laying around the house that I can definitely fly this thing for quite a long time. Now, this first clip I'm doing today is going to be an unboxing and sort of a closer look because I really want to get a look at the technology that this drone provides compared to the other two drones. But I promise you I'm going to get it outside, and I don't know if I can fly it or not, but if I can get it up in the air, if the application actually registers and everything works okay, and there isn't some kind of NFZ that won't let me fly it in the US, I'll have it up in the air and I'll start taking some photos with it and some video as well. Now, what's interesting about this drone, and the reason I said yet, is because what DJI is doing with this drone is they basically built a sub 250 gram drone that's really inexpensive. So I said when I first saw the rumors coming out about this and saw some of the specifications published that this would be a killer drone to have in the US because there are a lot of people that want to fly a drone and they want to fly something that's really good quality, but they don't want to spend a lot of money because they're not sure they're going to fall in love with the hobby, or maybe they're just afraid they're going to lose their drone. And these guys are great drones, but they're fairly expensive for a new flyer to take a shot at flying a hobby like this. This one retails for less than $300. Now, think about that for a second. You're getting a drone, in this case, that'll shoot 2.7K at 30 frames a second, 1080p at 60 frames a second. It takes fantastic pictures. It's got GPS coordination, GLONASS built in. It's got VIO on the bottom. It can actually have a 3-axis gimbal on the front to keep your image stabilized perfectly. All that for under $300. There's nothing in the class like this for that price. There's a lot of drones that are less than 300 bucks, but they're nowhere near as sophisticated as this one. And when you layer on top of that the software that allows you to see what's going on through the FPV view, having all kinds of automated features and spin around and fly away from you and take these beautiful shots, they would have a home run with this product. Now, the reason I'm saying I don't think it's in the US yet is because they're still selling these two drones. And a lot of years ago when I was in college, I used to run a jukebox route. I had a lot of jukeboxes all over New Jersey, New York, and Pennsylvania. And back then, I know I'm dating myself here, we were in the 45 era. So everything we bought was a 45 record. We'd stick it in the jukebox and we'd play the music, and that was great. And the reason I'm mentioning that is because in the US, they would charge a lot more for a 45 record. At the time, I think it was costing me about $1, $1.15 for the record. But I had a friend in Canada, I had another friend over in Europe, and you could buy the same 45 record over there for 50 cents or 35 cents. Now, it's the same record, same artist, same royalties being paid to that artist, but because of the market in the US, the record companies could charge more here for the exact same product. And I think a little bit of that's going on here with DJI, where they're taking this new model, which again, I'm going to talk about in a minute. I haven't opened it, so I can't compare it yet, but my suspicion is it's a little bit of this and a little bit of that in this box. They're selling that in other regions that really can't afford the more sophisticated, more expensive drones at a lower price. And I think they're worried that if they sell it in the US, it's going to cut into the Mini 2 pricing. It's going to cut in certainly to the Mavic Mini pricing. So I think they're holding off. Now, the reason I said yet is because I fully believe that there's a Mavic Mini, or I should say a Mini 3, all ready to go. And I'm sure the Mini 3's got all kinds of advanced features over the Mini 2, like crash avoidance, follow me mode, a better camera, probably better resolution on the videos, but they're not going to release it yet because they want to give this at least a year to breathe. And that's pretty much the release schedule is this, about 12, 14 months later this, about 12, 14 months later Mavic Mini 3, which I expect will hit, and I'm guessing here, I have no NDA information on this, and if I get an NDA and I sign it, I can't talk about it, but right now I'm not under NDA. So my speculation is they're going to come out with a Mini 3 probably in the November timeframe, December timeframe, just in time for Christmas. And my suspicion is you're going to see this one released at the same time in the US. Now, I wanted to get my hands on it because, again, I love reviewing technology, and I wanted to do a comparison between the two, just in case you decide it is something you want. At least you'll have the information well in advance of it being released. So enough of me talking. Let me get inside the box. So I've got this beautiful little slice opener here. I've talked about these on the channel before. They're so cool, you can't cut your skin with them. So there's only one little sticker on here. Let me open it there. And again, in China, they've opened this, activated it, so I'm sure there's some stuff missing, but I hope everything's in there that's supposed to be in there. What I meant was probably bags and stickers. So let me open this guy up. I get so excited, and I know you're thinking, Rick, shut up. You've got the Mini and you've got the Mini 2 right there. How exciting can this be? It's a brand new drone for me, so I'm getting excited. Anyway, here's the drone. All right, so inside there you can see the controller and the drone. Now, I made some predictions when the rumors came out about this Mini SE of how the controller would be the small black controller that we saw on the original Mavic Mini, and I got a lot of heat on the channel because everybody was saying, no, it's going to be the Mini 2 style controller like the new one, the bigger one, and I said, I don't think so. I think they're going to stick with the controller they were using, and sure enough, there you go. So here's the drone. Now, at first glance, okay, it says Mini SE right in the side. At first glance, you'd be hard-pressed to differentiate these two drones. Now, I'm sure I'm going to take a closer look, and there are going to be differences between them, and I can see one right off the bat, but I'll talk about that in a second. Anyway, there's the drone. Again, very, very similar, if not exactly the same frame as this guy. Now, the electronics inside there share a lot of what this provides and what this provides. And I'll detail that in a second clip, and I'll get outside and start flying it. But let me get finished with the unboxing. All right, so controller looks almost exactly the same, if not exactly the same, as the Mavic Mini controller, the original Mini controller, which I have right here. So I brought that up just to do a comparison. I'm gonna have to weigh them and check them out, but to me, they look almost exactly the same. And again, this is based on enhanced Wi-Fi, this is based on enhanced Wi-Fi, this is based on OcuSync. So there is a difference in the transmission topology. What I'm curious about, though, when I get into the testing of it is, the Mavic Mini had a little bit of trouble up in the wind. It really couldn't handle a stiff wind. It kind of moved a lot up in the air. And that was because I think they were using digital square wave ESCs on there. So it was a standard pulse ESC. I think with the Mini 2, actually with the Mini 2, they went to a sinusoidal ESC, which gave them a lot smoother play on the motors, and it gave it a lot more stability and a lot more energy up in the air. This one, I think, is using sinusoidals as well, and it may be using the same motors as the Mavic 2 or the Mini 2. So I'll take a look at that in a second. Okay, there's the controller. What else is in the box? Oh, there's a little box in the bottom. Let's see what's in there. Oh, and a whole lot of manuals. Oh, whole lot of manuals. Is there any more down there? Yeah, there's even more manuals. Man, there's like 6 pounds of manuals. Okay, so there's the box. Let's see what else comes with the basic kit. I'm also curious about the charging and all the rest of it, so we'll take a look inside the unit in a second. All right, so you got a ton of manuals here, all kinds of guides. There's some stickers, you know, things you want to read. You definitely want to read through the manuals. I always say that, and I know this is a boring exercise, but trust me, there'll be a rainy day coming up in the next week or two. You can't go outside and fly. Sit down and read the manuals, and that way you'll get smarter about how the product operates. All right, let's see what's in here. This is going to be all the cables and good stuff, so let's see. Oh, look out. Look out. It's flying all over the place. All right, there's the empty box. Let's get rid of that. A couple extra propellers. Now, one thing you'll notice is the propeller tips in this are orange, just like the Mini 2. So I'm going to have to test and see if they're the same. I really believe they're using the same motor, same propellers, and probably the same ESCs from the Mini 2. But I'll tear into it and take a look at it. All right, extra set of joysticks there. A couple of cables. That's pretty standard for the controller. So they've got a, looks like a USB-C, yep, a USB-C and a micro USB. And I'm betting they've got the Apple connector on here. And I'd be right if I said that. Yep, that's an Apple connector. So you have an Apple, a micro USB, and a USB-C, so it'll connect to all your phones just like all the rest of them. Look, they buried the joysticks down here, curiously, just like the original Mavic Mini. So that's kind of cool. Let me put those guys on, and then I'll tear into this. Now, I do want to check the charging of this. I got to put my glasses on to see that, because those are really tiny connections. But when I look at it initially, my suspicion would be if they're using the same controller, this Mavic Mini charged with a micro USB right there, micro USB. So the Mini, let me put that over by the Mini, and this is the Mini SE, and same thing. Yep, that's a micro USB. So you got the same charging. So the controller, from my guessing, without taking them apart and looking at them, is exactly the same as the original Mavic Mini. Now let's see what the drone charges with. Let me put this guy over here to get him out of the way. Oh, it's gonna go flying. All right, so this, okay, let me finish the unboxing here, sorry. So the propellers are the same. You get 3 sets of cables to connect up to your phone, and you've got 2 charging cables. Now, this is interesting, because why would I need 2 charging cables if that charges through micro USB and the original Mavic Mini charged through micro USB? Why would I need a USB-C cable to charge this one? I'll bet the drone charges on USB-C. Let me see. Wow, sure enough. So the drone has a USB-C connection on the back, and that's what you'll charge it through. Now, interestingly, this is the Mavic Mini, micro USB charging. This is the Mini 2, USB-C charging. So what that's telling me is either they're using part of the main circuit board from the Mini 2 to build this because it's got a USB-C connection on it, or they've re-engineered this board to accept the USB-C. But then I've got to ask, why would you put a USB-C on the drone but still keep the micro USB in the controller? Now again, as an engineer, this is driving me nuts because if I'm changing the one, I would change them both so you can use one cable between them, plus you get high-speed charging with the USB-C. So I got to play around with this. Maybe there's a situation where they've got a lot of extra controllers still left from the original Mavic Mini, and they're using some of those with this new SE. They're using some of the components from the Mini. I'm going to take a look at the frame in a second. Let me open this guy all the way up here. So let me pull these guys off, get that off. Let me open this up. Let's take a look at the camera first. And pull this off and take a look at the camera. It's probably the same camera as on the Mini, I'm guessing. I don't know what the specs are. I'll look at that when I open up the manual. Let me get those stickers off there. All right, so here we go. Pop open the front. Yeah, I've got a 1/2.3 inch sensor, and again, it shoots 1080p at 60 frames a second and 2.7K at 30 frames a second, so it's a very good camera. It's going to work really well for you. And again, if I put it side by side, about the same as far as camera goes, but what you're getting here, I'm getting a lot of stuff on the table, what you're getting here, I think with the Mini SE, is you're getting something of a hybrid between these three drones. So I'm seeing camera similar to this, controller similar to this, flight characteristics similar to this, which means the motors, the propellers, and the ESC that drive those motors probably came from this. It's not running OcuSync, so you're using the same transport technology as this one, but I've got similar flight times. Oh, let me check the battery. That's a LiPo battery, so that's pretty cool. So they're using a LiPo battery similar to the Mini 2, whereas the original Mavic Mini used the lithium-ion. Now this was the first, and at this point the only drone that DJI released with a lithium-ion battery. With the Mini 2, they went to the LiPo battery, which is in all the rest of their drones. And with the Mini SE, you're getting the same LiPo. Let me just check the specs on that. Yeah, 7.7 volts, 2250 milliampere hours. So you've got exactly the same battery. Now, one of the questions I got was, will the original Mini batteries fit? I'm betting they will. Yep, they fit in just fine. No worries whatsoever. Okay, so if you've got the Mini, you can use the Mini batteries. You can use the Mini 2 batteries, and I'm sure you can use the same charging hub you've got for the Mini 2 if you happen to have that. So I'll test all this stuff a little bit more in depth, but I wanted to do the unboxing because for my mind, let me take one more look at the front because I was curious about, yeah, there we go. All right, so one of the things that concerned me about the original Mavic Mini is that they had these little vents up top here. Now, a lot of people thought that those were going to be optical sensors to do crash avoidance, and they weren't, but they were stickers. So why would you mold that in there and put a sticker in there to block that up? I'd love to have that open to let airflow go through the back. Well, in the Mini 2, that's exactly what they did. So they put screens in there. So if you look at these two side by side, it's got stickers. This has screens in it to let airflow across the printed circuit board to cool it down. Well, guess what? The Mini SE's got the screens in it as well. So that's another similarity between the Mini SE and the Mini 2 that's different than the Mavic Mini. So I think what DJI's doing here, and I think it's a good thing, don't get me wrong. I think what they're trying to do is they're taking existing technology and they're trying to find a way to blend it into an airframe that's less expensive. And that's a good thing for everybody out there because, again, if you're a new flyer and you haven't flown before, dropping $500–600 on a drone, that can be a scary proposition because you're never sure. You hear all these horror stories about how you put it up in the air and the thing flew off and I never saw it again, and you're thinking, that's $500 up in the air that's taken off on me, so I don't want to spend that kind of money. But the problem is, if you buy one of the less expensive drones for like $60 or $100, that's going to fly off on you because it's running on Wi-Fi. It's typically flying off your phone. The signal is terrible. There's no ESC control. It's going to fly all over the place. It's going to drift. So I think this is kind of a happy medium between an inexpensive drone that seems like a good bargain and a really expensive drone that is a good bargain, but maybe too expensive for your budget. This one fits like in that Goldilocks zone right between. Now, I'm shocked, quite honestly, that DJI didn't release this in the US. I feel like, I'm going to talk about this in another clip in more depth, but I feel like this is a product that right now would be a perfect fit. Because remember, Hubson's got a unit coming out. They've got the Xeno Mini Pro coming. I've got one of those on order. It should be here any day. That's a little more sophisticated than this. There's a lot of rumors about Autel. I'm not saying anything. I don't really know anything, but there could be something coming from Autel. It's tiny like this. There's going to be a lot of competition in this space. So if DJI wants to keep that tsunami of new products coming, this would be a perfect product to release. I totally understand that these are in stock at big box retailers, so it's going to be hard because it will cut a little bit into that market. But again, it's a marketing decision more than an engineering decision. But I had to get my hands on this. Now, I promise you, today's clip was really just an unboxing and a first look at this product to get my hands on it. I'm going to turn this thing, well, I'm going to charge it up first, but I'm going to turn this thing on in a little bit, go outside and fly it like crazy, and I'll do some comparisons in flight around the stability of it, the noise, all the things you care about. And if you've got questions on the brand new Mini SE, drop them in the comments below. And I know this whole thing might seem like a farce because if it's not available in the US, Rick, why are you doing a clip on it? It's because I think you're going to see it in the US. I wouldn't be shocked, and I'm going to probably eat my words if I'm wrong on this one, but I wouldn't be shocked if you see this on the US market just before Christmas time at a retail price of maybe $279, $299, somewhere in that ballpark, and it's going to sell like hotcakes. So anyway, that's it for today. If you have any questions, drop those in the comments below. I can't tell you how excited I am to get my hands on new technology like this because it's been kind of a dry summer for drones. So this is the first one I've actually gotten that's new and exciting. But I've got a lot more clips planned with this one and a lot of other high-tech stuff that I'll be posting on the channel. So if you haven't joined the Drone Valley family yet, what are you waiting for? Hit that little icon down there in the corner and join us here at Drone Valley because we have so many more clips coming out and a lot of other high-tech stuff we're going to be talking about. It's a really exciting place to be for us, and I hope you guys are enjoying the content we're putting up. So that's it for today. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, happy flying.